All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is March the 2nd of 2022. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County. This calendar is for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. To all defendants on the screen, I believe I see courtroom 2. I believe I saw South Annex a moment ago. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at this proceeding today. I want to make all participants aware, not just defendants, that this entire proceeding is being broadcast over the internet, which means that any member of the public can log on and watch this particular proceeding. Anyone who receives a signature, a surety bond or cash bond today will be reset to the SAP calendar on March the 15th of 2022. Those who receive a signature bond will be reset further notice to the division judge for further adjudication. Who do we have first?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. You have before you Miss Davis, position number 3.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Will you pronounce your first name for me, Miss Davis?
It's DeVore.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
DeVore.
DeVore, you're
Yes,
Miss
ma'am.
DeVore Davis. Okay, Miss Davis, your case is 22 CR 001148J, in which you're charged with criminal trespass and damage to property with an offense date of November of 2021. You've heard me advise you of your rights. Do you object to the video hearing today?
No, ma'am.
Do you object to your, Ms. Kim, do you represent Ms. Davis? Who represents Ms. Davis?
Judge, I do. Dennis Murphy.
Good afternoon, Mr. Murphy. Good to see you. And Mr. Murphy, as you can see, is here on screen to assist you. Do you object to him assisting you by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, before we begin, Mr. Howard.
So first,
Okay. Recommended.
yeah, she would need a cosigner, parental.
Okay. All right. Recommended through pretrial or through the jail?
It can go through the jail. That's fine.
Okay. All right, thank you. Whose case is this for the state? Is it you, Ms. Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good to see you, Ms. Arnold. What is the state's recommendation?
The state is recommending a $1,500 surety bond. No further contact with Betty Davis, all spelled traditionally. A stay away from 3050 Garnett Way. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Your Honor, this incident happened on November 15th of last year at that Garnett Way location. Ms. Betty Davis advised that her granddaughter, the defendant in this case, was fighting with her younger sister on that date. And during the fight, the defendant kicked in her sister's door at the location, and then proceeded to go ahead and kick in Ms. Davis' bedroom door as well, breaking the door to her room. Based on the facts of this case, Your Honor, we are requesting that bond with the conditions as stated.
Okay, thank you at this time. Mr. Murphy?
Judge, she's age 17. And that's correct. This alleged incident was last November. She's actually been in custody 3 days. She's indicated she was at East Point for a couple days as they had held her and then transferred to South Fulton. She is age 17, Judge. I had advised her that she's going to have to stay away from Garnett Way, which is her paternal grandmother's address. Judge, I'd ask that you consider the signature bond through pretrial. She can reside with her godmother, whose name is Donna Cameron, and she would be residing at 1780 Childress Drive, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30311. Now, given that her age and if there's a cosigner required, if we could allow my client's older brother, who I believe is above the age 18, to cosign.
Okay.
If the court would be so kind to consider a signature bond. My client did not finish high school, but she is employed part-time at a barber shop.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yes,
If
Ms.
I could
Arnold.
just add to shed some light on the case as well. I believe the older brother that I'm sorry, I can only see Dennis. opposing counsel is referring to, he was also picked up on this charge he was also picked up on for the similar incident for breaking a Ring doorbell camera at the grandmother's home as well. And he was required to stay away with no further contact with Ms. Davis as well. And he got a, let me see, it looks like he was also given a SOB through the jail, Your Honor, a $2,000 SOB through the jail.
Mr. Murphy, does your client have anyone else who might be able to co-sign for her?
Hey, Judge,
Any,
her father's here in the courtroom, in the gallery as we speak right now.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, her father's is here in the jail in the gallery right now.
Oh, her father is there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure that I'm gonna let potentially the father is willing to co-sign, I guess. I guess I'll hear from the father. Where is the father? Is he on the screen? Let's see.
You can't give me 1 second.
Okay.
Can I say something?
I would recommend that you
Miss-
don't, because what you might say might end up being used against you. The best thing to do is allow Mr. Murphy to speak on your behalf, Ms. Davis. If you
Thank you,
have a
Judge.
very limited question, we'll hear it at the end. I am gonna allow your father to, I'm gonna hear very limited testimony from him as well. Good afternoon, sir. What is your name?
Gisuelo Glover.
Okay, Mr. Glover, you are the father of Miss Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask you some very, very limited questions. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my question is just, are you willing to co-sign a signature bond for your daughter, or you can put your hand down, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Her mom passed in 2020, and I've been trying to get them some counseling, her and her sister. You know, her mom died when COVID first hit.
Okay, I understand and I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Is there anything further from the state or defense at this time?
Your Honor, just that, again, we would object to the brother co-signing, but if the dad is willing, we don't oppose that.
Okay. At this time, Ms. Davis is going to receive a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services. We've heard evidence that her father is willing to sign. Sir, please state your name again one more time for the record.
Gisuelo Glover.
Can you spell your first name, Mr. Glover?
Desuelo.
Okay, Mr. Glover is going to be the co-signer. She is to have no further contact with the victim, Betty Davis, as a condition of this bond, and she must also stay away from 3050 Garnett Way. She is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either party as it pertains to this case?
No, Your Honor.
Judge, we thank you for the grace, and I had advised my client if you were going to award us this grace that she would have to stay away from that location, and she will until this case gets resolved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy, for that admonishment. We appreciate that as well. Does that conclude your business with the court today?
It does, Your Honor.
Okay, have a great afternoon, Mr. Murphy. Take care.
Thank you.
Are you
Ms.
waiting?
Davis, I'll be in touch with the family. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Glover, best of luck to you as well.
Are you waiving utility bill?
I'm sorry.
Are you waiving the utility bill? Because he's supposed to have a utility bill if he's going to co-sign.
Um,
And I'm pretty sure he don't have one on it.
I'm assuming he does. Is there any other type of identification that pretrial will accept?
Yeah, he need his ID, his driver's license, and the utility bill.
Yeah, okay. I will waive the utility bill if there's something else he can use.
His license, that's fine.
Okay.
As long as you waive it, I have to send you the waiver so you can sign it, though.
Judge,
Yes, please
Judge,
send to Miss Holly. Yes, Ms. Murphy.
Judge, and I appreciate that flexibility because in the past, pretrial just reaches out to me when there's an appearance issue, and I try my best to make sure that everyone's on top of it.
Yes, well, thank Mr. Howard, not me in this instance. Mr.
Okay.
Howard, if you'll send me that, I'll get it signed.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh,
I
actually
appreciate
send it to Miss Holly Bridgewater. Holly, all paperwork for all attorneys on the screen, it needs to be sent to holly.bridgewater@fultoncountyga.gov. All right.
Thank
Can
you,
we
Judge.
move to the next position?
Position number 8, Ms. Matthews.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Matthews. I believe you heard me advise you of your constitutional rights. Your case is 22 CR 001155C, in which you're charged with failure to obey a stop sign, obstruction of a law enforcement officer, fleeing or attempting to elude, and no proof of insurance. Do you object to the video hearing today?
No.
And do you object to your attorney assisting you with this proceeding by video?
No.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim, is this your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's good to see you, Ms. Kim. All right, Mr. Howard, I'm trying to check my list of people who are recommended. Is she on my recommended list?
I think so. Give me one moment, real quick, please.
Okay. Yes, she's recommended. I see her now. Okay. And whose case is this for the state in the meantime?
Your Honor, that will be me.
Oh, good to see you, Ms. Webb. Mr. Howard, we'll come back to you. Ms. Webb, if you'd like to give the state's position regarding Ms. Matthews' bond, as well
Yes,
as
Your
any
Honor.
information that you have regarding the history, we'd appreciate that.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending a $250 surety bond for the stop sign offense, $1,500 surety for obstruction, $1,500 surety for fleeing, and $250 surety for the no proof of insurance, totaling $3,500 surety, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Your Honor, this incident took place on February 28th at the Forest Park Road and Midway Street, intersection, about 8:50 p.m. Officer Terry Peter witnessed the defendant go through that four-way stop sign at that intersection of Forest Park Road and Midway Street in Atlanta. When Officer Terry initiated the stop and asked the defendant to provide proof of insurance, the defendant was not able to provide that proof to the officer, but the car was insured, Your Honor. During the traffic stop, the defendant fled the scene and did not abide by the officer's command to stand by in the vehicle, which also hindered the officer from conducting his investigation. Your Honor, the state is making this recommendation because we do believe she has a risk of reoffending, a possible flight risk, and a threat to the community. The defendant has a driving record that includes license suspensions out of Arkansas, 2 FTAs, obstructing traffic from 2017, and a failure to obey stop sign from 2008, Your Honor. And we know failing to adhere to traffic signs and devices poses a threat to the community because those devices help prevent accidents on the roadway, and the defendant was proceeding through an intersection, a busy intersection, where other cars were coming from the intersecting direction. The defendant's vehicle could have easily came in contact or impacted somebody who was possibly crossing with the right of way, Your Honor. In addition to those other offenses, driving offenses, the defendant also has several speeding ticket violations out of Arkansas as well, Your Honor. And those are the basis for the state's recommendation today.
Thank you. So you said there was FTAs, Ms. Webb, and did you see, other than the driving on the suspended license, was there anything else?
No, Your Honor. All of her offenses were just traffic offenses out of Arkansas. She had the 2 FTAs, and she had the obstructing traffic as well from 2017.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Ms. Matthew is 33 years old. I would like to address one thing, that she actually turned herself in. She didn't know that there was a warrant out there. She wanted to make sure that she wanted to kind of like let the officer know that she had an insurance card. So she brought the insurance card, and when they found out that there was a warrant, she turned herself in to resolve this issue. She does not agree with allegation that state is making about obstruction or fleeing or things like that. She was very complying. She was doing her best to take care of the issues. And she has been here in Georgia for 7 years. So that means Arkansas is kind of like remote in this case. And we would like to ask for signature bond because this is her first driving offense here in Georgia. Not only that, she's very professional. She has a 12 years old son that she has to take care of right now. So we would like to request for a signature bond, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Kim. All right, at this time, I am going to give a split bond. For the failure to stop at the sign, that's going to be $1,000 SOB through the jail. For the obstruction charge, that is going to be $1,000 surety bond. For the fleeing and attempting to elude, that's $1,000 surety bond. And for the no proof of insurance, that's $1,000 signature bond through the jail. So she has a $2,000 signature bond through the jail and a $2,000 surety bond for each of those charges. And she is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further?
Oh, Your Honor.
Nothing
Thank
further,
you.
Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Best of
Thank
luck
you, Your
to
Honor.
you.
May we be excused, please?
Yes, have a great rest of your afternoon. Take care.
Your Honor, she has a question for you.
A very limited question. The best thing for you to do is to call Ms. Kim.
Please call me, unless this is really related to the bond.
It was just a matter of how to proceed now, how to proceed forward.
Call me. I will.
Please call Ms.
explain to you.
Kim. She'll
Okay.
help you figure that out, all right?
All right, thank you.
Best
Thank
of luck
you.
to you. All right, who do we have next?
This is number 12, Miss Young.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Young. I'm not sure if you were on the screen earlier, but I'll go ahead and advise all defendants again of your constitutional rights. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. You have the absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have your right to an attorney at this proceeding today. Ms. Young, your case is 22 CR 001156C, in which you're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and then improper stopping, each with offense dates of March 1st of 2022. Do you object to this video hearing today?
No, ma'am.
Do you object to your attorney, Ms. Kim, assisting you by video?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Howard?
Fourth arrest. The last was 2018 contempt of court conviction out of Alpharetta. 2018 misdemeanor possession of marijuana. It was dismissed after PTI. And a DUI conviction off of a 2017 arrest.
Okay. All right, thank you. Ms. Webb, is this your case as well?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
And the state's recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending for the DUI a $5,000 surety bond, for the improper stopping, $500 surety, for the marijuana possession, $500 surety, totaling $6,000 surety, Your Honor, with no driving as a condition and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Your Honor, the state's recommendation is based off an incident that took place on March 1st around 4:30 a.m., where the Johns Creek police officer, Officer Montero, witnessed the defendant sleeping at the wheel for 2 green light cycles at the Medlock Bridge Road and State Bridge Road in Duluth. Upon getting the defendant out of the vehicle, the officer noted that she had signs of intoxication based on the glossiness and gaze in her eyes. Additionally, officers located bags of marijuana in the vehicle's middle console that weighed less than an ounce. Your Honor, we do believe that the defendant has a high risk of reoffending and is a threat to the community. As you've heard from pretrial, she does have that previous DUI conviction from Cartersville from 2008 that was adjudicated in 2018. And she also has that marijuana possession conviction, pretrial intervention case from Alpharetta from 2018. Your Honor, we believe that she is a threat to the community because anytime someone drives under the influence to the alcohol to the point that you fall asleep at the wheel, that is an indication that you are not in a competent state to operate a motor vehicle and could have injured herself or anyone else who was on the roadway at that time. Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Webb. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Miss Young is 25 years old. She has been here in Georgia for 20 years. I don't think that she has a flight risk because her family, her parents and siblings are all here in Georgia, and this is her hometown. And she's currently working as a waitress at the restaurant and she's also enrolled in Georgia State University. Her major is health science, so she would like to pursue her education as well. And she does volunteer at Hope Secondhand Store to provide a good deeds to the community. We would like to request for $1,000 a maximum surety bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. At this time, I am going to accept the state's recommendation for Ms. Young's bond. She's going to receive a $5,000 surety for the DUI, a $500 surety for the possession, and a $500 surety for the improper stopping, for a total surety bond of $6,000. She is to have no driving unless she has a license issued by the Georgia DDS, and she is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either party?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Young. We can go to the next position.
Number 7, Mr. Kemp.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Kemp. Your case is 22 CR 001095C, in which you're charged with battery, family violence, first offense, with an offense date of February the 17th of 2022. I've advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to the video hearing today? And do you object to your attorney assisting you by video? Thank you, Mr. Howard.
This third arrest. Yeah, the 2012 hijacking motor vehicle, 2016 shoplifting. The hijacking was reduced to maybe robbery, because he's on probation for robbery. It's 14 SC 127592. In 2015, they gave him 10 years probation. That's all I have.
Thank you. Whose case is this for the state? Ms. Arnold, good to see you. Ms. Arnold, what is the state's recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending a $4,000 surety bond for the battery family violence. No further contact with Bridget Taylor, spelled traditionally, a stay away from 1374 Murphy Avenue, Southwest in Atlanta, a one-day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Your Honor, this incident happened on the February 17th of this year at that Murphy Avenue location. Ms. Taylor, the mother of the defendant, advised that her son had been staying with her, and at some point while he was there, he asked to see her phone, but she denied his request. This upset the defendant so much that he grabbed Ms. Taylor and struck her in the face, not once, but several times, resulting in swelling to her face. Based on the defendant's history, he does have first offender for the armed robbery. And based on the facts of this case, Your Honor, we are requesting that $4,000 surety bond with the conditions as stated.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, Mr. Camp is currently homeless. He is 28 years old. He has been homeless for about 4 weeks. I have requested social worker services to help him out to find a housing. And he is 28 years old. He has no children, he's not married. He has a siblings here and he's not employed at this point. However, he studied welding and he graduated from high school. He would like to get some help. So that's what we're gonna do. And that's it, Your Honor. We do not have any objection to stay away or no further contact with Bridget Taylor, his mother. However, Your Honor, considering the fact that he's not employed and he's completely homeless, a $4,000 surety bond is extremely high for him. So we would like to request for $1,000 surety bond.
Hey, thank you. At this time, I see Ms. Trailer is on the line. Ms. Trailer, if you would like to make a statement, you are not required to do so, but if you would like to do so, this is your opportunity. You would need to turn on your camera and your audio such that you could make that statement to the court at this time. Ms. Trailer, I see, yes, I see you. You're still muted, but would you like to make a statement today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I do.
All right. What would you like to tell us today?
I would like for my son to get some mental help. That's exactly what he needs, some mental help. I want to do a 1013. That's what I would like to have him. He don't need to be in them streets, Your Honor. He's a danger to himself and a danger out there as well. I would love for him to go to Georgia Region Hospital where he can get some care and get back on his medicine so he can get back to his mindset, Your Honor. He's having an episode, Your Honor, and apparently he's just like a wild beast, and he needs some help, mental help, Your Honor, please. That's
Yes.
why, I was under the impression the night they took him, that they was taking him to the hospital.
All right.
That's where he need to be, in the hospital, ma'am. At Georgia Region graded mental health, because he need to get stabilized so he can get back on his medicine so he can handle his business. He's not being himself. And I already experienced where my rent office don't want him on my property no more. And that's a sad thing for me as well. I'm just really going through it. And I have hard problems. I am not well. And I just want the best for my son. He's not a bad person, Your Honor. He's just not well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for making that statement to the court. Miss Lewis, can you put me, the state, and Miss Kim into a breakout very quickly?
Yes, ma'am.
As well as Ms. Falk.
Oh, Miss Falk, it's good to see you. Yes, please add Miss Falk.
Good to see you too, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, I believe we're all back. Do I see Miss Kim? Has Miss Kim returned from the breakout session? I don't see her.
I try to kick them out. There should be coming.
There you are. There you are, Miss Kim. All right, at this time, Mr. Kemp is going to receive a $2,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Trailer. He is to stay away from the address on Murphy Avenue. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol without a prescription. He will be reset to the SAP calendar on that March the 15th, where this can be revisited at this time. Is there anything further from either party at this time?
Your Honor, what we discussed in the breakout room, is that going to be added to the ruling?
I'm not going to add that at this time, but I did issue a surety bond, so give time for additional evaluations if necessary, and he is reset to SAP, so that could be addressed then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, take care. Best of luck to you, Mr. Kemp. Let's move to the next position.
Number 5, Mr. Hawkins.
All right. Good afternoon. Are you Jeremy Hawkins?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Okay, your case is 22 CR 001152G, and what you're charged with battery of family violence with an offense date of March the 1st. Do you object to the video hearing?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Do you object to your attorney, Ms. Thomas? Good to see you,
Nice
assisting
seeing
you
you
by
guys.
video.
No, ma'am.
Do you object to her assisting you by video, Mr. Hawkins?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Howard.
2015 battery family violence. Simple battery family violence. Simple battery. Out of Clayton County, those were dismissed. See a psycho out of Louisiana from 08, public intimidation, resisting an officer, dismissed. I'm not sure if the state has more. That's all I have.
All right, we'll go straight to Ms. Webb. Ms. Webb?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location at 2323 Piedmont Road, apartment 4420. No further contact with Cadero Jackson, that's Cadero or Cadera, Cadarro, Jackson, common spelling, 1 day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Your Honor, the state is making this recommendation based on an incident that took place on yesterday around 4:30 p.m., where Atlanta Police Department responded to a dispute call and were met with the victim, Mr. Jackson. He informed the officers that the dispute began in the couple's bedroom after he told the defendant that he needed to help out with chores in the home more. The defendant became upset suddenly and stood up from the bed and grabbed Mr. Jackson by his hair, pulled him downward, and then began striking him in the face about 10 times with a closed fist. Officers noted that Mr. Jackson had a laceration on his cheek, a busted lip, and his hair was ripped from his scalp. Both parties do reside in that home, Your Honor. And for those reasons, the state does believe that there is a risk of reoffending and witness intimidation. Albeit the couple was not in a relationship at the time of the incident, they both do reside at that address at 2323 Piedmont Road. And if there's something as simple as delineating chores in the house and duties in the household, Your Honor, that will give rise to this level of violence in the defendant, then the state is concerned that he will reoffend against Mr. Jackson. Additionally, you did hear about those cases from Clayton County, although those were dismissed. The state has reason to believe there was something that gave rise to those charges in the onset. Additionally, Your Honor, the victim has told our office that he does not want any violent contact with the defendant, but we are wholly opposed to no violent contact orders as a bond condition today because of the witness intimidation factor. And we know that if there's a form of abuse in the home, victims will often change the story to avoid prosecution of their abuser. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. We are strongly denying these allegations, Your Honor. Mr. Hawkins is not opposed to no further contact. He doesn't wish to have any contact. They do not live together. Mr. Hawkins did express to me that he's no longer residing at that address. Mr. Hawkins is 31 years of age. He's been a Georgia resident for the past 7 years. He has no children here. He did complete community college, and he is also gainfully employed at the Piedmont Hospital, where he has been a nurse for the past 2 years. Your Honor, I am asking for a signature bond on Mr. Hawkins' behalf. As we heard from pretrial, he has no convictions on his history, Your Honor. And again, we're unopposed to no further contact and a stay away, as he does not live at their residence at this time. So again, Your Honor, I am asking for a signature bond on his behalf. And if the court is not inclined, then I'm asking for a bond amount no more than $2,000 surety.
All right, thank you, Ms. Thomas. I'm gonna sound at this time for the victim, last name Jackson. I don't see that name on the screen, but I am sounding at this time. If you are present and on this Zoom conference and want to make a statement, this is your opportunity to do so. All right, hearing none, Mr. Hawkins is going to receive a $2,500 surety bond. He is to stay away from the address on Piedmont Road and have no further contact with the victim, last name Jackson. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond, and he will also be reset to the SAP calendar on March the 15th. Is there anything further from either party?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Your Honor, but I do want to advise Mr. Hawkins that you can go through a bonding company to bond out. If you're unable to bond out, then you will be reset, as the judge mentioned, to March 15th.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Hawkins. Can we go to the next position at courtroom 2, please?
Number 9, Mr. Shakir Fulford.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Shakir Fulford. Your case is 22 CR 001150A, in which you're charged with obstruction of a law enforcement officer with an offense date of March the 1st of 2022. You've heard me advise you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to the video today? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Do you object to your attorney assisting you by video?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Kim, correct, this is your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard?
This fourth arrest. Last was back in August, trespass out of Riverdale. October 2020, entering auto. April 2020, felony theft by receiving, obstruction. So he got 2 open felonies in Superior Court.
Okay.
Looks like he has a hold out of Carrollton for trespassing.
Okay.
The date of that one is August 30th, 2021.
So is that the same as, that's the same as the August? That's the one that placed the hold? Okay.
No. August was Riverdale trespass.
Oh, Riverdale, you did say
Yeah.
that. Okay. All right, I think I understand. Is it Miss, oh, it's not Miss Webb, it's Miss Arnold. Miss Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor, the current surety is set at $2,500. The state is requesting a $1,000 surety. No further contact with Officer Kelly, spelled Kelly. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and a stay away from the Edgewood and Piedmont location, which is around the Georgia State University. Your Honor, this incident happened yesterday at the Piedmont and Edgewood location in Atlanta. The defendant failed to stop when Officer Kelly told him to, and then refused to provide his name or date of birth when requested. Your Honor, we do believe that the defendant has a risk of reoffending, as he has an open case, as mentioned by pretrial, for theft by receiving stolen property and obstruction, case number 20 CP 190990. In addition, he has another open case for the entering automobile or motor vehicle with intent to commit theft or felony, with that case number being 20 CP 193211. So for these reasons, Your Honor, we do believe that he will reoffend, and so we are asking for that $1,000 surety with the conditions as stated.
All right, thank you. Let's see.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you give, before you go to Ms. Kim, I'm sorry, can you give me that stay away location? I was trying to look it up. There's no specific number, or it's just the corner of Edgewood and Piedmont?
Yes, Your Honor, there wasn't a specific number in the
Okay.
in the warrant, so that's why I said it is on the corners of Georgia State University. So I can
Okay.
look at the address for the university while Ms. Kim goes, and I can give you that as a stay away.
I think we can do Edgewood and Piedmont. I was hoping that there was something a little bit more specific. Okay, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, but he goes to Morehouse College, not that far from it. So we would like to make sure that when he has to go to classes, if that's the only place that he can walk by, we would like to request for exception for stay away. He is freshman at Morehouse College. He's studying right now psychology and business administration as a full-time student. He's also a basketball player, and he's only 19 years old. He actually missed his midterm because he's detained at the jail right now. He's not a flight risk because he has another hold. He will be probably transferred to another county, so there's no reason to worry about a flight risk here. He's been here in Georgia for 11 years, and he just recently graduated He's going to college. He does not have enough funds to pay for the surety bond. So we would like to request for signature bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. At this time, Mr. Shakir Fulford is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the officer, last name Kelly, and he must stay away from the address on Edgewood and Piedmont. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your
All
Honor.
right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Number 10, Julie Apparel.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Your case is 22 CR 001153, in which you're charged with battery family violence with an offense date of February the 6th, 2022. I've advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to a video hearing today?
No,
Do you object to your attorney appearing by video?
no,
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
Third arrest. Last was 2018 DUI, driving without a valid license and window tint. The driving without and DUI was a conviction. Window tint was dismissed. 2012 forgery in the first degree. You got first offenders for that. He has a hold. Hold on. Out of Covington. It just says probation violation. It's probably traffic because the DUI came out of Covington. That's it.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Webb.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending a $3,500 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location at 3669 Bolfair Drive. That's Bolfair, BOLFAIR Drive, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30331. No further contact with Hosey Carter. That's Hosey, HOSIE, Carter, common spelling. 1 day anger awareness, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Your Honor, this incident took place on February 6, 2022, where Atlanta Police Department responded to a domestic dispute call and were met by Mr. Carter, who informed the officers that his girlfriend's grandson, the defendant, had attacked him over asking him to turn down the music that he was playing in the home at the time. According to Mr. Carter, he asked the defendant to turn his music down, and the defendant ignored him. Mr. Carter then proceeded to get up and turn off the defendant's music, and that's when the defendant struck him in the face with a closed fist while he was sitting in the chair. Mr. Carter told the defendant that he was going to call the police, and the defendant told him to go ahead and call, and then proceeded to leave the scene. The state is concerned with witness intimidation in this case, Your Honor. Our victim advocate did make contact with Mr. Carter, and he informed us that he is elderly, and he was actually confused about the case, and he thought that this was concerning another act of violence where the defendant jumped on his girlfriend, and he thought we were calling about that case, Your Honor. I do understand that it's not reflected in the defendant's GCIC, but we did receive that information from Mr. Carter today. Additionally, Your Honor, when the police arrived on the scene, the victim had a bloody nose, and they noted that he had a mask on that was full of blood, Your Honor. And as you heard from pretrial, that he does have a warrant out of Covington, Georgia, from that 2018 DUI case. So we do believe that he's a possible flight risk, and we are concerned with any orders of nonviolent contact because of the fact that he attacked his grandmother's elderly boyfriend, Your Honor. Nothing further from the state.
Okay, I just want to clarify again. You said that the victim is the boyfriend of his grandmother.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Well, he
thank
said
you.
today on our victim advocate that he was her husband, but the police report said boyfriend. So not for sure what's happening.
Okay. I'm gonna sound first before I go to Ms. Kim for the victim, last name Carter. Mr. Carter, if you are present on the screen, this is your opportunity to speak. All right, hearing none, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Dion is 41 years old. We do not believe he is a flight risk because he has been here in Georgia for 41 years. He lived here all his life. He has a family here, and he also has a job. He makes a bricks for houses at Environmental Stoneworks, and he graduated from high school here in Georgia. He knows a lot of people, and actually he cuts lawns for the residents, actually a lot of neighbors around Mr. Carter. He does good deeds for Mr. Carter and his neighbors, and he does not oppose to stay away. He does not oppose to no further contact. However, we want to request for a signature bond because anyway, there is a hold and warrant out there. It's not a flight risk. So we request signature bond, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $2,000 surety bond. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as his condition is bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Carter, and he is to stay away from the address on Fair Drive, Northwest in Atlanta. Are there any conditions not addressed as part of this ruling?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Can we move to the next position, please?
Number 11, Mr. Turner.
Position, I need to staple this. All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Turner. Your case is 22 CR 001154E, in which you're charged with simple battery with an offense date of March 1st, 2022. I've advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to the video hearing today?
What does that mean?
I'm holding this hearing by video. I'm not currently there with you. Do you object to talking to me or your attorney through this video conference?
Yeah,
You object?
you can talk to me.
I can talk to you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Howard?
This is third arrest. 2018 assault second degree conviction out of Minnesota. And 2010 assault fifth degree. That was dismissed.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Webb?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending a $3,000 signature bond, no further contact with Miss Adriana Ledra. That's Adriana, ADRIANNA, Ledra or Ledra, LEDRA. A stay away from the Georgia State campus, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and a one-day anger awareness. Your Honor, this incident took place on yesterday where Georgia State Police responded to a call where the victim, Ms. Ledra, informed the officer that she was walking on Edgewood Avenue around a 33 Edgewood Avenue address on Georgia State's campus, and the defendant spat at her. Our office is still conducting an investigation to find out fully what occurred on yesterday, but the state is making that recommendation based on our belief that there is a risk of reoffending. The defendant does have a previous assault conviction from Minneapolis in 2017 and a previous assault arrest from Minneapolis from 2010, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms.
Was
Kim?
it a signature bond that she was proposing?
Yes.
Yes.
We have no objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, at this time, Mr. Turner is going to receive a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Ledra. He is to stay away from the entire Georgia State University campus. He is to complete a one-day anger awareness course and have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there anything further? Per judge, yes. Anything further? Per judge as recommended by the state.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Let's move to the next position, please.
Number 1, Mr. Bradford.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Branford. Your case is 22 CR 001147E, in which you're charged with reckless driving with an offense date of June the 26th of 2021. I've advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to a video hearing today?
No.
Do you object to your attorney assisting you by video?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Howard, I did something to your list. Is this recommended?
Through the jail. It's reckless driving.
Recommended through the jail. Okay.
Second arrest though, last was 2019 suspended license conviction. That's it.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is requesting a $4,000 surety for reckless driving with no driving as a condition and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Your Honor, this incident happened on June 26th of last year at 2555 Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway in Atlanta. Officer McCormick advised that he was assigned to monitor social media for ATL Bike Life. And as a result, he set up weekly details for the riders. ATL Bike Life is a social media movement that has unregistered ATVs and bikes that meet up at various locations and ride recklessly, essentially without any regard for any type of traffic laws. It's also known to flee from police, and they have large groups, so it usually becomes quite dangerous for officers to try and enforce the laws. In this particular incident, Officer McCormick was watching a video on @450Timmy, which is the defendant's Instagram page. Here, the defendant posted a video of himself riding a yellow ATV on Donald Lee Howe Parkway doing wheelies. The officer noted that the defendant also had many other videos on his Instagram showing where he was also violating traffic laws. Your Honor, we do believe that the defendant is a danger to the community. As I've already mentioned, oftentimes the ATL Bike Life group, they ride recklessly in the street without regard for the laws. And oftentimes they are stopping traffic while they're doing this. We do believe that the defendant is also a flight risk. This is not from his criminal history, but from his driving history. He has a May 2016 FTA. He also has a November 2019 FTA and a September 10th, 2020 FTA. In addition, we do believe he will reoffend. He has a 2016. In 2016, his license was suspended with the reinstatement date for January 8th, 2020. In November 19, he had a failure to obey signs, which he pled guilty. He also had a driving while license was withdrawn, from which he pled guilty. And then in 2020, he was convicted for speeding. And then his license again was suspended for the September 2020 FTA. And then he pled guilty in 2020 on September 16th for driving while license suspended with the reinstatement date of March 25th, 2021. So, Your Honor, his driving history is pretty awful. So we do believe that he will reoffend. And so we are requesting that $4,000 surety based on that history, Your Honor, as well as the fact, as I've stated, that we do believe he's a danger to the community and a flight risk for the number of FTAs that he has. So we are requesting that surety with the conditions as stated. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm requesting a signature bond. I'm asking the court to follow pre-trial's recommendation and sending him through the jail for a signature bond. This is a nonviolent offense. Mr. Branford does strongly deny these allegations and denies owning a four-wheeler. We heard a lot from the state about the ATL Bike Life, but however, we did not hear how or if Mr. Branford was even connected with this group. Mr. Branford is 24 years of age. He's been a Georgia resident all of his life. He lives in the Atlanta area where he's been residing all of his life. He has family members living in Georgia as well. He's a proud father of 2 sons. Mr. Branford also completed high school, and he is gainfully employed driving box trucks for Amazon, where he has been employed there for almost a year now, year plus. Your Honor, again, I am asking for a signature bond through the jail. If the court is not inclined, I'm asking for a bond amount no more than $500, given Mr. Branford's limited criminal history and the fact that this is a nonviolent offense, Your Honor.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Branford is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond through the jail. However, he is to not drive as a condition of this bond. He is also to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond as well. Is there anything further?
Nothing from the defense.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Branford. Who do we have next?
Number 4, Mr. Hardy.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harding. Your case is 22 CR 0011498, in which you're charged with battery, family violence, first offense, with the offense date of January the 23rd of 2022. I've advised you of your rights. Do you object to the video hearing today?
No, Your Honor.
Do you object to your attorney assisting you by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard,
First, the rest is what I have.
okay. Ms. Arnold,
Yes, Your Honor, the state is requesting a $3,500 surety bond for the battery family violence. No further contact with Ashley King, Ashley spelled ASHLEY, a stay away from 1051 East Paces Lane Northeast in Atlanta, a one-day anger awareness course, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Your Honor, this incident happened on January 23rd of this year at that Paces Lane location. Ms. King advised that she and her husband, the defendant, have a very tumultuous relationship, and this is just one incident. Ms. King advised that at this time, she went downstairs to get her son to put him to bed. The defendant got upset and told her not to take him. However, it was bedtime, so Ms. King went ahead and picked up her son. At this point, the defendant grabs Ms. King by her neck and throws her down on top of a shoe rack. This is done with such force that Ms. King sustained a very large bruise on her left leg. Right now, we're not sure whether Ms. King was holding her child at the time of the attack, but the report at least suggests that the child was present for the incident, which is very unsettling, Your Honor. Furthermore, officers were able to speak with Ms. King's mother, who advised that from what she knows, her daughter has been abused physically and verbally for the past 2.5 years. And now we know that defense will say that this is not indicated in the record since this is his first arrest, but that does not mean that this abuse is not happening in this home. And we know that when it comes to the cycle of violence, sometimes victims are afraid or they recant or accept abuser's apology, whatever the case may be. It's not uncommon that we don't see a history here, Your Honor. So for these reasons, based on the facts of this case, Your Honor, and the fact that our victim has said that this has happened before, this isn't the first time, we are concerned for her safety. And we are requesting that $3,500 surety bond. We were not able to speak with our victim in this case, but we did get a good amount of information from the report from which she told officers, Your Honor. So we are concerned for her safety, and we do believe that this defendant will reoffend. So we are asking for the $3,500 surety to keep her safe with the conditions as stated.
all right, thank you. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, we are strongly denying these allegations and that there has been any history of abuse. We also deny the state's condition of Mr. Hardy reoffending when he hasn't offended in the first place. Mr. Harden is 34 years of age. He has been a Georgia resident since 2014. He is an Atlanta resident. He is not opposed to no further contact. He does not wish to have any contact with Ms. King. He also does not reside at that address any longer. However, they do share a small child. They share a 8-year-old son who we do wish for him to still be able to have contact with, either through a third party. Your Honor, he is also gainfully employed through Fit Radio, where he's been working there since 2012, Your Honor. As we heard, he doesn't have any criminal history. That is why I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Harden's behalf. If the court is not inclined on granting Mr. Harden a signature bond, I am asking for a bond amount no more than $2,000 at this time.
All right, thank you. At this time, Mr. Harden is going to receive a $3,500 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name King. He must stay away from the address on East Paces. He must complete a one-day anger awareness course. He can arrange transport of his child through a third party. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further?
Nothing further. Thank
No,
you.
Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. We can move to the next position.
Number 6, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, is position 6 Mr. Johnson? Okay.
Yes,
Mr. Johnson, your case is 22 CR 001151J, in which you're charged with battery family violence with an offense date of March 1st of 2022. I've advised you of your constitutional rights. Do you object to the video hearing today or to your attorney assisting you by video?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Howard.
13 total. Last arrest was back in April. Battery family violence out of Marietta. It's open. Appears to be. Let's see. Rest of the history comes out of Florida. 2017 probation violation. Another 2017 probation violation. I see 2 probation violations out of 2016. Fade to appear 2015. Another fade to appear 2015. Obstruction that was dismissed from 2013. And a 2012 grand theft 3rd degree fade to appear.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Webb.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is recommending a $5,000 surety, no further contact with Mr. Corey Johnson. That's Corey, Corey, Johnson, common spelling. Stay away from the incident location at 3030 Continental Colony Parkway, apartment 1302, Atlanta, Georgia, 30331. 1 day anger awareness and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Your Honor, this incident took place on yesterday where the Atlanta Police Department responded to a dispute call, and upon arrival, they met with Mr. Corey Johnson, who informed the officer that he and the defendant are domestic partners. Mr. Johnson informed the officer that he and the defendant had a verbal argument, and while arguing, the defendant began choking him. Mr. Johnson was able to get away and break free from the defendant and ran outside. He also showed the officers a video recording of that incident, Your Honor, and there the officer was able to witness the defendant choking him on that video and could hear Mr. Corey saying, "You're choking me," and the defendant responded, "I haven't started choking you yet, and this is what you want." Mr. Corey did sustain injuries to his cheek and chin, in which were swollen and had scarring that the officer was able to capture, Your Honor. For these reasons, the state does believe the defendant has a risk of reoffending. As you've heard from pretrial, he has that open battery family violence case out of Marietta. I did reach out to the solicitor's office there, and they were not able to provide me with information if that was the same victim. But in addition to, Your Honor, the defendant also has parole violations or probation violations, and we do believe he's a flight risk as he has those previous FTAs out of those charges from Florida, and he FTA'd twice in the same year in 2015. And lastly, Your Honor, our victim advocate did reach out to Mr. Corey Johnson, but we were not able to make contact. However, to choke someone is to cut off their oxygen line, and that level of violence warrants no contact with the victim because you could kill someone by strangulation. And despite being told that he was choking the victim and the victim showing signs of having struggles to breathe, he continued to choke him and even told him that he hasn't even started choking him yet, Your Honor. So for those reasons, we are making this recommendation today for the $5,000 surety.
Thank you, Ms. Webb. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Johnson is strongly denying these allegations. He is 32 years of age. He has been a Georgia resident for over 2 years. He did advise me that he and Mr. Corey Johnson are no longer in a relationship and no longer living together. He would not need a one-time escort to retrieve any belongings. His family members did retrieve his belongings. They do not share any children. Mr. Johnson does have other family members and friends living in Georgia as well. He completed high school and he is gainfully employed at the City of Marietta Garbage Disposal, where he's been working for quite some time. I am asking for a bond amount no more than $1,500 if Mr. Johnson is ineligible for a signature bond at this time. I believe Mr. Johnson's finances are very limited at this time as he has to find a new place of residence. So I am asking for a bond amount no more than $1,500 if he is not eligible for a signature bond.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. At this time, Mr. Johnson is going to receive a $3,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Johnson. He is to stay away from that address on Continental Colony Apartment. Can you put the apartment number on the record again, Ms. Webb?
Yes,
I understand it may not be necessary, but I'm still going to order it. What is the apartment number?
It's 1302. The street address is 3030 Continental Colony Parkway, apartment 1302.
Thank you. He must stay away from that address. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. All right, is there anything further from either party?
Nothing further from the state.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
That should be it.
Position 2.
That's a reset tomorrow.
Reset tomorrow. Okay.
Judge, I
right,
believe that's it.
All right, that completes our calendar. Would we like to review it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Bridgewater, will you do your thing, please?
Okay, again, the reset date for SAP is going to be March the 15th. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a $4,000 SOB through the jail. Position number 2 is being reset till tomorrow. Position number 3 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial, and the father will be the co-signer. Position 4 is reset further notice with a $3,500 SOB through pretrial. Position 5 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position 6 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,500 good bond. Position 7 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position number 8 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 total split bond. Position number 9 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 10 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. Position 11 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. And position number 12 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $6,000 total good bond. Are there any questions, comments, correction, or otherwise? Okay.
Judge, did you get my
Hearing
waiver?
none. Here, oh, Mr. Howard, there was a comment.
Did you get the waiver I sent?
Yes, I'll sign that and send that back. Hearing and nothing further from anyone, we will be in recess until tomorrow, March the 3rd, at which time I believe Judge Law will be presiding. Best of luck to everyone. Have a great afternoon. Take care.